Hey, how's it going, everybody? BurntBrian here, and today I'm bringing you another hot sauce review. Alright, so before I get started talking about this one particular sauce that we're going to review today, let me go ahead and show you this real quick. What you're looking at are 4 products that were sent to me from John Gordon, who's the owner of Boppa John's Habanero sauce. There are 3 sauces and 1 tincture, and of course we'll be talking about all of the sauces individually as well as the tincture once we get to it. But first, before I again jump into this, I'd like to give you a little bit of background information about the company, because I always enjoy when somebody takes the time to really write down a letter and give me a lot of information about who they are, why they got into sauce. That's why I like doing these reviews so much. I like working with people that are passionate about food in general, and I can definitely tell he is just by reading this. So let me go ahead and read to you what he sent to me. The background on this sauce is back in 2007 or so. He bought a 6-pack of orange habaneros and of course had way too many at the end of the season. So naturally he made a relish or salsa using the onions, garlic, herbs, and who knows what else, and started giving it away at Christmas. Someone asked, "What do you call this stuff?" And he replied, "Death Wish." Folks liked it and asked for more, so he grew more chilies. In 2008 he called it Death Wish again. In 2009 it was Death Wish 2. In 2000, as an homage to that truly horrible David Carradine movie, he called it Death Wish 2000. In the fall of 2001, he didn't have the heart or gall to call it Death Anything, and it went unnamed for years. Somewhere in the early 2000s, his artist t-shirt making stepson-in-law made an apron that said Boppa John's Golden Hot with a picture of an orange habanero on it. His son, which is John's grandson at age 2, called him Boppa, so he was honored but thought the name sucked. He started calling it Golden Glow for a year or so. Time rolled on. Someone turned him on to the cross-country nurseries where they had habaneros hotter than orange, so he placed an order, and he's ordered with them every year since, and as they upped the Scoville scale of their plants, he would buy the hottest they had. As the sauce evolved, he started dropping extraneous ingredients. Folks asked him for something that pours, and it finally ended up for about the past 10 years as what it is habaneros, water, vegetable broth, and maybe carrot or beet juice for color. All of these are canned through a boiling bath so it can sit on the shelf unopened for years in sterilized glass bottles. Later on he got some labels, and that's where we are now. That's the product that we're going to look at today. Again, he sent me several different sauces. He says each batch is unique depending on the whims of nature. Maybe one year there's a ton of chocolate, the next year the chocolates don't even produce. So he'll add or delete some variety, and if the plants produce, they are invited back next year. So he says he may use a different vegetable broth or juice, maybe add some hard cider or tequila as a blessing. Last year he sorted chilies by color and made a mango batch containing mango juice, a cherry batch with Red Branch Cider Company black cherry cider, and a chocolate batch containing a lot of rabbit's foot Meadery's chocolate raspberry port called Love. So one of the ones he sent me is the mango one, which is, I believe, this one I have here just based on the color. It definitely has the mango color. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start reviewing this sauce here. Let's go ahead and go on Aroma and see what we have. Boy, I'll tell you, on Aroma, you're definitely getting a strong, I believe that's the habanero smell that I'm getting. It's definitely tickling my nose, so I know there is a strong content of peppers in this one. I know this is going to be really hot just by the aroma. But it has that sweetness. I am picking up the subtle little tones of mango that are coming through there. It's got a really nice aroma to it, especially if you're a big fan of habanero peppers in general. This just has a really great pepper aroma. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. I am not going to be going crazy with the sauce. It's still kind of early in the day. And besides, this is a hot sauce. I'm kind of trying to change the way I do a whole lot of my reviews. I really don't think that there's a need to drink an entire bottle or pour a ton of stuff. If I know it's going to be an ultra hot sauce, I might do a challenge or a dare or something. But the whole idea of tasting these things is to really be able to taste and pull out the flavors. I find that a whole mouthful, giant tablespoons, really just kind of is overpowering. It's more than what you need to really taste. And of course I do have some food here that we'll be trying it with in just a second. But enough of my rambling, let's go ahead and taste this. Woo! That is some habanero fire. Now the consistency is very thin. This is again more on the watery side. But again, people wanted it to be pourable, so it doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients that are making it ultra thick. So it has a nice, easy pour. The blast of heat seems really intense at first, and it's hanging in there strong. Surprisingly, the back of my throat. Normally with habaneros, I find it's more of a stingy burn, and I'm definitely getting some of that right on the tip of the tongue and a little bit in the back of the throat. But woo, that one packs a punch. This heat is lingering. I almost don't want to eat anything yet, just to kind of wait and see how long this heat's going to burn. Now again, because this is such an intense chili pepper flavor and the heat that's up front, I'm going to tell you right away, this isn't going to be something for a non-chili head. This is a chili head sauce, so if you are somebody who thinks Tabasco is hot, you definitely don't want to really venture too much into trying this. But what I've got today is I've been doing a lot of these breakfast burritos with eggs and bacon and all kinds of stuff in it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to pour a little bit here on the end and see if I can get some of that mixed in with the eggs there. All right. See how it tastes with some food. Okay. Now again, generally hot sauces are a condiment. They're made to be added to food, to add flavor to it, to add heat. And again, when you eat this with food, it definitely is taking away some of that heat that's in there. So I'm not just getting a complete major blast. Now that I've let it settle, I'm feeling that burn starting to pick back up again a little. So again, as for general use, I'll be honest and say that at least with this particular food, now if I'm cooking something different, the heat level on this would be really good. It's just, to me, there really isn't a whole lot of flavor there once you add it to the food. The food, which again, you don't want a sauce to completely overpower your food, so I can see a lot of applications for this sauce. But again, I'll say that what will hinder it for a larger market, at least, will be it's pretty much specific for chili heads. I mean, this burn is a nice, long, lingering burn, and I'm actually even feeling it starting to get down to the stomach a little, which is pretty quick. So it just tells me that it has a high content of peppers in it. So this isn't going to be for your average person. We'll go ahead and talk about heat. First, the heat, I'm going to give this, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 on heat, and that's for a chili head. So, for us, for the guys who eat stuff on a regular basis, this is a good, solid, mid-level burn. Like I say, a strong pepper content in there, so you're getting a good bit of heat. Now, if you're a non-chili head, go ahead and add at least 2 to that scale and make this a good 7 out of 10, because it's definitely quite a scorcher. And as far as the flavor goes, I'm gonna have to give this one a 5 out of 10 on flavor as well, because basically, to me, I mean, it's got just a wonderful basic chili pepper flavor that's there, and I do see a lot of applications for it in the kitchen. I just don't see this as an everyday use, and I think that the heat should be, if you're gonna have bold heat, it should be bold flavor, just in my opinion, as far as how it can be used in other dishes. So to me, it just has such a strong, bold heat, and the flavor is kind of lacking as far. So, I mean, maybe my suggestion would be to look back at some of those ingredients that are, that may have been too much for some people. Maybe consider using a few of those to add a little something to this, to make it a little more special, to make it stand out and shine some. Otherwise, beautiful taste, great peppers on it. And again, this is something that any chili head will enjoy. It definitely packs a serious punch. And I haven't even gotten to the hotter ones yet, like the chocolate one that I will be looking at here soon. But anyway, that's the way I see it. I would definitely recommend you go and check out his Facebook page. And again, I always love seeing entrepreneurs working and chasing after their dreams and you know, starting a business here in this country. It's great. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, again, don't forget to join me on all the various social networking sites that are out there. If you're a video gamer, you can find me on the Steam network and we can play some games. But thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, stay toasty, my friend.